this is a re-recording. I'll get into why at the end of the video.
I know you. Arrow. It's my second favourite show of all time. But it was a good after all you started it because my dad watched it, it did look pretty good. So I tried to watch it, but like it seemed like 4 year gap of watching YouTube 24/7. So I was completely bored. So I tried rewatching the first episode over and over and over and just couldn't get into it. But then eventually I did. And I watched whole season 1 with my grandma in the summer of 2019. Then I was waiting until after I finished Castle to watch season 2 of it. But my dad got on Amazon Prime about a year later. But I thought, oh, season 2 of Arrow's on there, and I'm just gonna watch it until I can't watch it. So I watched all season 2 and first episode of season 3 because the next episode in the order would have been episode 2 of The Flash because I'd already seen episode 1. Then I watched 3, 4, 5, and 6 the summer of 2021. Watched season 7. Started in September, finished it a couple weeks ago, and started season 8 immediately after and finished it today. I love it. I've heard people say that, season 3 is bad, but it's fine from season 4 onwards. And I've heard someone else say that the quality starts to dip from season 4 onwards. I disagree with both these statements. I think that seasons 1 to 4 are fantastic. Season 5 goes a little bit down because of the motive of Prometheus, the season's bad guy. Because Prometheus is the son of a guy that Oliver killed in season 1. So it's like the Last of Us 2 thing where I said was like, my name is random person, you killed my father, prepare to die, that's it. Which is terrible, but despite that, Prometheus was fantastic. And it's not like we could get bigger than a magician, because that was Damien Dark by the season 4. Or, well, couldn't at the time. Then season 6, started off with Michael Emerson's character, but Ricardo Diaz killed him halfway through, and he took over, but he's just a guy. There's nothing special about him. And then season 7, for the prison segment, and a couple episodes after, it's still Ricardo Diaz. And then they switch it to the longbow hunters or killers, whatever. But they don't actually. I don't think they ever get caught. They didn't do anything with them. Then it was Emiko. And Emiko is officially recognized as the bad guy of season 7. But sort of at the very end of the last episode of season 7, it becomes. I forget the name of the organization that she was in, but the organization that she was in. And then season 8, the Anti-Monitor is considered the villain, but that's just for Crisis. So really, season 8 doesn't have a villain because the first 7 episodes are preparing for Crisis. Episode 8 is Crisis. Episode 9 is a backcourt pilot for a show that never aired because of Corona. And episode 10 is a goodbye episode. So, seasons 1 to 4 are fantastic. Season 5, quality goes down a little bit, but still fantastic. Season 6 is terrible. but you can't skip it because it's a really important story. Season 7 is about the same level as Season 5, and Season 8 is about the same level as Season 7. As for the person who I constantly get in arguments with about Arrow, have you even seen the show?
I actually asked him today. He said no. He hasn't seen it at all. And then another person over our conversation, he said it was crap. I said, how much have you seen of it? He said 4 or 5 seasons.
And if so, how much did you watch? Because I think the problem that my granny had with it is that there didn't seem to be a goal to it, if you know what I mean. Although, she does watch a lot of procedural television, so that's kind of hypothetical. Because the thing about the first season of Arrow is that you don't actually know that there is a main bad guy until a little bit into the season, like at least episode 10. Which, I mean, it worked out, but they did lose a lot of viewers by doing that. Because I think that's what this guy's problem with the show was, that there wasn't a sort of goal to it.
I get that the goal was crossing all the names off, but that would make it procedural television. And with the fact that, I mean, they sort of made it not procedural television by having the story more closely connected. But it wouldn't make sense to have the story more closely connected if there weren't a main bad guy. Because, like, there'd be less of an impact if someone close to all, or just, a main character was killed by one of the random bad guys.
Also, they have a very small incentive for this person because he has a simp for superhero stuff, except for obviously Arrow. You're missing out a little bit of Justice League because Justice League actually crosses over into Crisis. Ezra Miller's Flash gets trapped in the Speed Force along with Grant Gustin's Flash. Anyway. Sorry, my mind went blank. This is me.
The school on Monday, the 14th of March, 2022. I didn't finish any books today, so I'm a bit pissed off with that. Also note that I'll be playing Valhalla a bit while talking because for some reason it doesn't save the ending of the Odyssey crossover. Because there's one mission where you're like partying and stuff and it doesn't save it, and it's not like an infinite party because there's a slight story to it. But anyway.
As of...
Sorry, I was gonna... I'm trying to think. We're supposed to have a St. Patrick's assembly today, but we didn't have it because the video wasn't working. Anyway. I mean, that's all it really was, because I was just reading the entire time, although I did feel sick, so I actually decided to stay outside at break. I'm not going to fix my voice. At break and lunch. Just so I can get some fresh air. But I was fine today.
Past 8 p.m.
On Actually, I don't need to do that.
Obviously, I can't play this, but you should listen to the hub music for Battle Block Theater. I couldn't narrate this. No, it's just menu music, nothing too crazy. The menu music in question. OMG, my dad is a fat black man, and they're saying since he's fat, you can get an MRI at the zoo. And then people say they send fat people to the zoo because you get MRIs, but the average MRI machines are not big enough. Fat phobia is literally dehumanizing. What does the fact that he's black have to do with anything? Is that your dad ever been at the zoo for his appointment? MRI weight limit is £660. I just know my daughter, she told the world I'm this big. Besides, you're gonna have your dad on the zoo MRI table. You're down on the way to the zoo.
Input, calm down! You calm the fuck down! There's a misinput!
TikTok users picking the worst music you've ever heard to use in all their videos.
This is DMs as of 32 or 20 to 8 p.m. So Jessica DMs me in the morning yesterday saying, "Morning, Hammy Bear." I said, "Morning," sends a selfie. Turns out it's actually Jacob. And I said that for some reason that specific photo that he sent reminded me of me, and he said that I'm his idol. And then he starts messaging me on his own account saying, "Oh, sorry, my phone died. Hammy, are you in love with another man?" And I didn't respond until he pointed it out today in school. So I really need a drink. Anyway, I was talking to Jacob today, and he said, "Oh, you didn't respond." I responded saying, "Sorry for a late response. I had a driving lesson actually." I probably should have started off the video with that. I should have done it in this video, but I forgot because it was a Sunday. Anyway, I was driving almost the entire time. I went down to like Ballygowan, I think, or something like that, and it was fine until the very end because we start at a sort of bumpy, not bumpy, but not a good road. It's like behind a hotel, and there's only space for one car to pass through at one time. So I drive right before that bit, and someone passed through, and another guy is just sitting there, so I can't get past, and also he can't get past. And my driving instructor is trying to the guy going, "He's a learner. He can't back up. You need to back up," and he wouldn't listen. Eventually, he just said, "Alright, get out. I'll have to do it." So he did it. The guy eventually passes, and when he passes, the instructor is still trying to talk to him, going, "He's a learner," but no response. Like it was a robot. Anyway, so back to DMs. I said, "No, I'm not seeing another man." And Jacob saw me saying that to his account. He said, "Wait, I sent that my account." Looks at my phone. Oh, she did it through my account. Yeah. This Twitter as of 23 too. Rest in peace, William Hurt. Google and Apple have cut off Russia's basic infrastructure. Alexa, open the front door. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. Your Prime membership has expired. Why does Elon Musk keep on doing based things and then being cringe? Now, if I say this, I'm going to be labeled a conspiracy theorist by Jack and all, but I'm going to do it anyway because I think this is what it is. He does it so that he gets the support of little kids, because it's the little kids that are ultimately responsible for whether or not someone like Elon Musk is seen as a good person or a bad person. I've asked a couple of people, do you think Elon Musk is a good person? And they'll say yes. But there's no difference between someone being a good person and you like them. Like, I like Sean Connery, but he's a bad person because he's beaten his wife and he justified it. Or at least he attempted to justify it. So Elon Musk, people like Elon Musk because of stuff like this, but he's not a good person. And I've proven before that he's not a good person, such as like, you remove the sound from the cranes and the backup, they make a beep sound, so that you know there's a crane coming. He removed the sound because he didn't like it, which honestly is very autistic, but that's besides the point. But I think the reason why he does this is that, he gets seen as a good person when really he isn't. Job requirement. Had sex before. This post is so close to becoming based, but it just isn't. People who can defend themselves physically, women, low testosterone men, parse information free of consent, filters a safety mechanism. They literally do not ask, is this true? They ask, will others be okay with me thinking this is true? This makes them very malleable to brute force manufacture consensus. If every screen they look at is the same thing, they'll adopt that position because their brain interprets it as everyone and try believing it. Only high testosterone alpha males and neurotypical people, autists, are actually free to parse the information of objectivist as true filter. This is why a republic of high status males is best for decision making. Democratic, but a democracy only for those who are free to think. So if he wasn't saying that women can't think for themselves, then it would have been based. But because he said that, it isn't. All US Army personnel will be forced to undergo mandatory gender dysphoria training by September 30th, 2020, according to a report in Washington. Free Deacon, who started working in the military. I'm going to assume Biden made this happen, although I could be wrong. Here's the thing with it. I don't have a problem with trans soldiers being in the military. Like, if we ever go to war, we need as many people as we can. But the problem is, they're making it more about being trans than being a soldier. Because if you're a soldier first and foremost, not a trans person. So the thing with it is that, like, say I were to join the military, or army, whatever, I am 100% certain that I am male. That's the gender that's my biological sex, is what I identify as. But there are people who are certain of it, but I feel like this is going to end up being like, maybe you're not a guy, and then eventually they'll do enough and it just sort of brainwashes some people and thinking maybe that they're not. And that'll leave them distracted in the middle of the field. My point is, don't do this. Can you believe they're sending trans soldiers to war now? Man, I hope so. This is completely unedited. The idea of the sub was to subvert his comics to promote anti-fascist messages. It has become more and more common over time that people ignore the anti-fascist part of the theme, and as it just amplify what it's subverting by memeing with comics, which is part of the design of how he makes his comics, although at least with James Watermark to say that it's about the creator, while still promulgating his work. Yeah, though you're straight out of free sharing someone does comics that like this actually undermines the purpose of this stuff. So I've already read it this week. I've got a wonderful clip of him reacting to a meme live one day. Fawcett said something about Jimmy Dort, talking about having stiff neck from the vaccine, how it makes him an anti-vaxxer. This isn't near as funny as Fawcett shaking me off, but crying. This never happens to extreme false comment. OMG, J.K. Rowling, like the clip calling Fawcett for his pro-child porn position. What must be going on badly for the global American empire is the ratchet up the censorship. More people than ever comment on Fawcett Mayo. If you talk about Jews a lot, you're probably a fascist anyway, back to the age of consent. I just filled up my gas tank. I feel like I donated $5 to $10 to Ukrainians fighting for their lives. It is really exciting to the help. I hope it's worth it. Isn't he Peter or something? He says something along the lines of child porn shouldn't be illegal, huh? Maybe he really is a libertarian. I'm gonna assume this is the clip.
I still think that like porn, like drawn stuff, it should be 100% legal. In fact, and this is going to be a real hot take, I have yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal.
Okay, so if you were to, there's pedophiles, right, who buy child pornography. Would you say they should not be held responsible for doing that?
Yes.
Really? Even though they're directly supporting child rape?
Yeah, I think it's hypocritical. If I bought my computer and the silicon in it was farmed in Africa by slaves, if I can do that and that's legal and no one's going to call me out on my shit, then yeah, I have to be consistent in that respect.
Okay, look, I think there's levels to this. So
what I'm picking up from that take, which I don't know if I've heard or not before, but what I'm picking up from that is that Vosh is an anarchist.
I wouldn't equate buying a computer to buying child pornography.
Should consuming child porn be legal? I think that would be, yes, more legal and more ethically consistent. Yes, 100%.
The Curb Your Enthusiasm theme at the end wasn't necessary, but anyway. Oh, I was taking a cheap shot. Libertarians fun. You don't need to prove me that Vosh is evil. It was obvious from day one. It wouldn't actually be illegal, though. Its production involves violating human rights, so you get a deep dish for making it. Yeah, I know, it's just a meme. My folks been burned this entire video. I already took acid reflux tablets, can't do anything. And there we have it. Yikes, you're brave. So not the how his viewers use my obvious joke tweet to smear me as some kind of Nazi as well. No sympathy. I know, I just mean you were brave for baiting that again. Live in the mask, eat the pod, screw the bugs. Prison's a bad place for a man we call Juicy. Oi mate, what's all this? And nonce mate? At least he's not a cringely doomer edgelord who's indecipherable Scottish accent, who's too much of a pussy to say he believes in white supremacy. Oi mate, why don't you try another field campaign, you fat bastard? This is like a Facebook dad, but on Twitter. I mean, you're a little rotund. I'm not fat, I'm just easy to see. From space. Listen here, you little crap. Me running away in torrent after finally beating Ratham. I'm guessing that's Elden Ring. Gonna fight him soon, is he really that tough? Load up on spells and inflict Scarlet Rot. Still think about the Zulus with only animal hide shields and spears going up against the British who had Martini Henry rifles. And you think that it would take about 5 minutes for the British to win, but it was actually kind of close.